Hey guys, welcome back to the Gut Girls podcast. So we are picking up right in the middle of last podcast. We talked about the store that changed everything for Diana. If you didn't listen to it, make sure you go back and listen because it sets the foundation for today's podcast, which I kind of like to say it's God redirecting the dream for her. And we're picking up here because there's just too much to tell about Diana's story with Nature's Elite in the last episode. And so we talked about the store itself. We talked about how it started. Gosh, we talked about the people, the community. We talked about the heartbreak of closing the store. And honestly, if you listen to the episode, you probably cried right along with Diana. I know I teared up. But it today isn't really about this episode, I guess, isn't really about Nature's Elite. It's about what happened after. And so that's really what I want people to hear, because I think every person listening has experienced some version of this in their life, you know, whether it was a dream that ended, a relationship that ended, gosh, a job that ended, a chapter of any sort. And so they found themselves asking the same questions, Diana, that you did, going through the same emotions. Now what? And so where I want to start today is pretty much like the morning after Nature's Elite officially closed. I'm talking there, you weren't going into the store anymore. And so what was that first morning like when you woke up and you didn't have to go?
Um, a bit empty, honestly. Obviously there's still plenty to be done, like tangible checklist items that have to be done. That was painful, and honestly, I'm still going through it. We're into June now, and I'm still having to work on these checklists. To close something down is almost as difficult as opening it up. And so feeling that, feeling a little lost, honestly, because, while it was not a large paycheck by any means, I was able to bring in a little bit of consistent money to be able to help support my family alongside what Todd makes. And so not having that consistent payment is a really scary feeling, because I have always felt like I wanted to contribute to the money that our family is bringing in. And so that felt a little, again, I feel a little bit lost, a little empty, almost as if I was like doing something wrong, just because I've always had somewhere to be and something to do. And, I'm a busy, I keep myself really, really busy. And so not having all of that almost felt a little off, like, where am I supposed to be? What day is it?
I can imagine, because you keep a calendar. I've seen Diana's calendar. And so I would imagine your calendar got empty.
Very. I still am. I still have people reaching out to do just like some simple nutrition consults, and which I love doing that. It's a lot of like kind of the basic stuff that we do. But of course, those have again sort of shifted. If you listen to the last episode, it's almost kind of shifted into like, hey, we've built this membership in the Gut Girls, which I know we're going to talk about, into this foundational work. And so it's so cool that I still have somewhere for these people that are like reaching out on Facebook and whatever. They're still reaching out, actually, like, hey, are you already closed? And I'm like, yeah, I closed like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and so they're still reaching out, and I have somewhere to plug them in, to be able to have them still be a part of like of me and my community, and but in an even bigger, cooler way.
Yeah. What do you feel like? So how long have you been closed now?
Probably at the time that this is going to actually go out, I would say 6-ish weeks, something like that. Yeah, it was right around right around the beginning of May, I guess, end of April, something like that, is when I kind of officially shut down. And yeah, it's been a weird 6 weeks, but different in that I definitely feel more present with my family. The worry of, if you listen to the last episode, I said that, as a business owner, you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if my kids ever choose to run a business, or if Todd ever does, they'll understand that fully, which they definitely get it because they've seen what it takes for me to do that. But I still, when it's you and it all truly is on your shoulders, I don't think that you truly understand until you're actually in that boat and you wear that weight. And so having that worry lifted is honestly something that I haven't felt in a long time.
I like that for you. That's great. It's interesting though, because I could see you're nervous. Like, we talk about your identity in the last episode, we kind of ended like, did your identity shift? And you kind of, said God laid out the path. A blessing was that as one door was closing, the other one was opening. And so your identity maybe didn't shift a whole lot, but I'm sure it sounds like your nervous system did. Like, gosh, I'm sure there were moments where you were like, shouldn't I be somewhere? Like, that panic. And it probably took you a few weeks to be like, I'm okay. I'm here with my family. I'm okay. I'm safe, even though that shut down. I think that's what we have to do to our nervous system sometimes under crises. So it's interesting to hear you say that. But then I have to ask, if you felt lost a little bit in the beginning, I'm sure your community did too, right? Because Dinah's like, when people were saying in the old episode where we were like, they were all like, we're at Dinah's store, we're going to Dinah's store, meet me at Dinah's store. Well, Dinah's store isn't there anymore. And so that community and it's more the storefront, like the actual physical building that, that hosted the community isn't there. So do you feel like they felt a little lost too?
Oh man. They shed a lot of tears too. A lot of my very loyal customers. I did have a membership through Nature's Elite as well, that we ran through Nature's Elite, and my members were very consistent, very loyal. But they knew that, like, if they had a problem, they had a sick one, whatever, or I would drop something in their mailbox. Like, we had that kind of relationship. And so, yeah, I mean, it happened abruptly for them too. I think, because I provided a lot of the education and resources and things for them. And like you said, kind of in the last episode, some people would say that I was kind of the first one in Tullahoma to sort of open people's eyes to some of these new products and these new kind of a more functional way of health and a more natural way to, work on your nervous, kind of like, and do the nutrition side. And so I was kind of one of those first people. So some of them literally said, like, what am I going to do without you here? So, and that was hard because, I felt like, I felt like I didn't talk about this a whole lot on the other episode, but I felt like I let a lot of people down, which, it was out of my control. Again, on that last episode, you can listen to how, it came down to financials. I had to make a financial decision for my family, and for the store. And so, but feeling like I let people down, my teammates, my family, obviously, myself, and my community, because those are my community, my loyal customers. Those are the ones that kept it alive, right? Because they were the ones that were coming in and buying their product from Nature's Elite. And so they were the ones keeping it alive. So they felt absolutely invested in the store. And so when it happened abruptly, they're like, what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. That's a loss for everyone, and that's heavy, but we kind of ended last episode with kind of talking about, it's all about how you look at it too. Like, Nature's Elite was preparation. I feel like the conversations that you had with people in the store, the way you looked at people probably changed. The questions you asked when people walked in the store and they said, like, I'm not sleeping or I'm in pain. Over those years, I'm sure you kind of started to learn, like, I should ask about this and I should be educating them on this and opening their eyes up to that. And so God was kind of like laying just like the foundation, using Nature's Elite to a bigger calling for you. And so I think what I want to just say right now is for, listeners that are members of Gut Girls, but I'd say Nature's Elite, the loyal members that are probably listening to this podcast and maybe still feel lost because they're like, okay, where's Diana? What is she doing? How do I still stay connected to her community? Where is your purpose right now? Like, where's your focus? As far as telling those loyal members of Nature's Elite, like, you're not gone. Diana did not just disappear, although the storefront did. I want you to speak kind of to them for a minute and let them know like who Diana is today, where is she, and what's she focusing on every day.
This summer, I'm focusing on my family more than anything. Focusing on God and my family. Those are the the number one, number two. And I have my oldest daughter is about to be 16, and she's about to be driving herself everywhere. And my youngest daughter is going to be joining her. And so, I only have a few more weeks of being their taxi cab. And so I'm actually just embracing those times and those conversations in the car. So I'm doing that and really just kind of diving into them. But with Gut Girls, this is something, some people are like, oh, this Gut Girls, what's this new? Like, and as I was telling people as the store was shutting down, I was like, and it was just easier for some of them that don't follow me or whatever. Some of them I would just say, like, I run an online gut health program. And so we've been doing that already for years. Sometimes it would come up in conversation with those people. Sometimes it wouldn't. But that's what my story kind of was to them, because they're like, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, well, I'll be 100% totally honest. Todd and I have looked at our budget, and we are very frugal, I would say. And so we are budgeters, and, so let's budget and see if this summer I can just sort of we can sort of live on Todd's income. And so this is very personal, but that's kind of what we're doing right now is, and he, I'm like, I'll make sure that we have dinners, and, I have more time to go like shop at Aldi and get good pricing and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. My girls kind of laughed because we have deep freezer. And so like I've been making different new meals because I'm using stuff out of the deep freezer. And so like some very like almost kind of funny and tangible things that I'm doing right now because I have a little bit more time. And the girls were like, where did that meat come from? And I'm like, oh, it's actually been in the freezer for a year already, So I'm doing that. I'm still working on kind of shutting down the store. Actually, the building, Todd and I had decided to purchase the building in which Nature's Elite was in. So that is for lease or for sale right now at the time of this recording. And so I'm trying to figure out what we're doing with that building. So I still am kind of working on that. And then as we have kind of talked, I'm continuing to dive into Gut Girls and do what I think this has all these roads that God has had. When Nature's Elite was a big, huge part of that road, that he led me to this moment of being able to provide for Gut Girls where everybody has a place to fit in, whether you're starting your journey at the very beginning or whether you've been doing this like you have for decades. There's some people that come to us and they're like, hey, I've been gluten-free for 30 years. And I'm like, I didn't even know what gluten was 30 years ago, So the last several weeks, I've really been able to dive into Gut Girls and what our members need and what they're looking for, and come to you with those things like, hey, we need to build this so that we can provide this for our community, not for just for the Tullahoma community, but for, like you said, in all 50 states. And so that, I feel like that's where I'm able to pour my time and energy into at this point.
Yeah, it's so interesting because there's two things I hear. One is the store, even though it was a beautiful thing, like you said in the last episode, it took away from some of your family time. And so I love that you're recognizing like this is an opportunity for me to just pour into my own family and love on them and, enjoy these I would say months of summer, but I feel like it's weeks because it goes by so fast. So like, just enjoy this time. But then you're visioning this big picture for Gut Girls that is already happening. But like you said, how can I make it even better? And it's interesting because as I hear you say that, I'm like, okay, if you guys don't know Diana, when she pours her heart, if you didn't learn from Nature's Elite, when she pours her heart into something, I mean, it's beautiful and it touches every end of a project from start to finish and the little crevices of like what's missing. And already we've had some phone calls since Nature's Elite has closed and you're like, okay, how do I love on these current members that we have and give them absolutely everything that you probably needed in your transformation, your early stages of your gut transformation. But also what do you need now? Like years being technically like, through the gut journey. And so it like gives me like excitement of like, gosh, what is to come when Diana puts her hand on something? It's huge and it's amazing because I always see God working beside you. I've always seen that since I've known you as a friend. And so I'm excited for that for you both seasons with family, but then visioning for the future, what that's going to look like. And so I do want to touch back though to those loyal customers of yours in Nature's Elite. I mean, if I was listening, I'd be like, well, can I still then be a part of that? Like, can I still work with Diana? But what does it look like? Is it a little different? So I do want you to just take a moment and speak to them of like, where do they go now if they want to still be in that community with you and still learn and get coached from you and be seen? Like how do they do that at this point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I if you followed me on Nature's Elite on Instagram, I did Insta stories. And so obviously that's free. You can just listen as you want to. And so I've started kind of diving back into that on the Gut Girls page, which a lot of people have already mentioned. They're glad to kind of see me back again because I did take a little break from doing anything at Nature's Elite. And so now I'm doing it on Gut Girls again. So on Instagram, you can find me there for free. I love to just provide some information and education, things that I've learned, things I've seen. You are going to see my dog on there every now and then because y'all, I'm obsessed with my dog. But anyway, so I'm going to throw that up here. But you'll see things that I'm doing. I posted last night that my daughter and I are playing in a tennis league together. So you're going to see a little bit more of like what my life it looks like and what I'm doing kind of day in and day out a little bit. You will also, let's see, what did you ask me?
Where those like loyal followers can find you. So, and let me ask another way. You just said that basic part, which is great. Like still follow me, still be a part of the community. But also like okay, let me ask you as far as like the dreams that you have, because you didn't just shut down Nature's Elite and it ended. Like you have dreams. And if these people want to be a part of that future vision, how do they stay connected to you just outside of maybe social media? And if they want to work with you, like how does that happening nowadays?
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. I'm like totally had brain fart there for just a second, I guess. But yeah, so obviously that's what I was getting at is like, you can do that for free, follow me on Instagram. But then if you want and kind of an even deeper look of like what we're doing inside, it's inside Gut Girls. And what that is, just like I was explaining earlier, is no matter where you are in your health journey, I want you to feel a part of it. So we kind of set up two types of memberships. One is what we call a self-starter. It's literally $15 a month. It's cheaper than probably your gym membership or whatever that maybe you never even go to the gym and it's still sitting out there. But it's a place where you can come and still be a part of our community. You can see what products we're loving. You can still get discounts on your supplements. And we have one thing that I love the most is what we call a resource library. And this resource library is something that over the last, really since I met Angela in 2017, we have been developing all of these different resources for things that we use as what we call our personal wellness strategies, some different guides, nutrition guides, swap guides, like how do you swap, how do you shop the grocery store? So like, even if you're just getting started and you want to know those simple things. So that's what you would do inside that membership. So it's $15 a month. You have access to our portal and an app that you can kind of chat with us and everybody in the community sees it. So if you're like, hey, I just bought this new protein powder, like, what do you guys think about it? And like, how can I make a smoothie with it? Like, what would y'all put in it? Or just anything. There's so many things. Or, hey, I just went through this, like, what do you think, or whatever. And so I wanted to make sure that people that were loyal customers of a Nature's Elite would have somewhere to just go and just like seamlessly come into this membership and still have access to see me and to chat with me or whatever if they have questions about a supplement or whatever. And then we did, of course, in the Gut Girls, our heart and soul and passion is for using the GI map test as a tool. After you do all that foundational work that you do inside kind of the self-starter, where we teach you about nervous system, we teach you about some of the basic supplements and all of that, you get it for $15. And then when you come into our second part of our membership, once you're ready and you're at the point where you're like, hey, I'm ready to use that tool and use this GI map test, which for those of you listening, if this is like one of your first episodes, this is a comprehensive stool test that really gives us, at the DNA level, like what is going on inside the gut at that current time. Do you need probiotics? And we help you support that. You support your digestion and support motility and all of those things using that GI map test. So it gives you your own personalized roadmap. And so again, since 2017, Angela and I have been developing this. This has been brewing for a long time, to be able to put this all into one place. And when I say one place, it's a portal. We call it a million different things, honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud. We call it a portal. We call it the Gut Girls membership. We call it the Gut Girls Hub. And we've learned that we really need to honestly just say one thing. So when we get off of this, when we get off of the podcast, we'll talk about what we're going to call it. But sometimes we call it a portal, sometimes we call it a hub, but we have been working with a developer that has put all of this that we've compiled since 2017 and working with thousands of different clients using the GI map test, using these foundational tools, and putting it all into one place. And we call this our portal, our Gut Girls Hub, or our Gut Girls portal. And there are tabs along the left that are the different parts of what we believe will help make you successful in your health journey, wherever that may be for you. So for those Nature's Elite listeners, for those loyal followers, if you're looking for something like that, there is a place for you. And I want to invite you in to be able to do that, because again, we've done that at multiple different levels so that you can come in no matter where you are.
Yeah, so it sounds like, I love this because it sounds like Nature's Elite actually it didn't just close, it just got better, actually. It has a new name. It's called the Gut Girls, but you're reaching people now nationwide. And so I'm thinking, if I was a loyal customer of yours at Nature's Elite, I'm like, okay, if I had a place to go and to find healing and I wanted to share it with a family member, I really couldn't, because it's local to me. It's in Tullahoma. You'd have to come visit me to kind of get the gist of it. But now it's like, I can share this with a family member in Pennsylvania or California. You know what I mean? So now it's reaching more people. And guys, if you were a loyal customer, share it with all your loved ones. It sounds like the community that you had at Nature's Elite, it's even gotten bigger now. The education is still there. Like, helping people, it sounds like, stop guessing. Like, you're doing all that stuff is what I'm hearing. Like, Diana's hitting the root of of your symptoms, of your worries when it comes to your health, and where do you go and who do you trust? I mean, it's all inside now what she's calling the Gut Girls of what we've created. And it's everything she wished she had in her own journey. And now it's available for you. And so that's really what you did hit it when you were like, I had a brain fart. What were you asking me? You nailed it. I just wanted people to know like what became of that closer, that door that closed. And so guys, if I just want you to know, like a couple thoughts in this podcast is, if you are someone listening today and literally go back to that first episode, but if you lost something important like Diana did, whether it was, again, a dream, a business, a job, a relationship, I mean, whatever it is, the season of life, you know, there's always something on the other side of that, right? And Diana, it was like you were building that the whole time. And so 2 questions out of this is, what would you tell someone that is going through a season that you kind of are still in it in a way, but like, what would you speak to someone else? And then what is your dream for Gut Girls? Because I want people to know that.
Oh man. I would tell people if they're going through something similar, I would just say that, let's say a door shut to something. I mean, the door shutting is actually a part of the next dream, right? And so even though it shut, it 100% was what actually opened up my eyes to see that you're right. I do have this whole big world, this nation and world to be able to share my story with now. And this podcast has been brewing, and the membership has been, and you know, creating this portal or this hub. So all of this has been part of that. And so keep dreaming. I mean, just because what you thought was the dream, that door shut, it's probably just because the dream is shifting. It's headed in a new direction. And so I want to keep encouraging you to follow your heart, follow God, and really make sure that you recognize that just because that is closing, there's something else that's on the other side, just like you said. And then the second part to that is, oh my gosh, my dream for Gut Girls. Well, I'll just be honest here. My big dream for Gut Girls is that we have our community that we take on like a big trip to the beach or something like that. Like, and we go and just get to love on our community and share and educate them, but have a great time doing it and relax, put our feet in the sand somewhere, because I feel that's where I feel my best. And for those people that don't like to be in the sun that much, we'll get you an umbrella. Like, we want you to come with us. That's my big dream, is to bring this community, and honestly, this group of women that have joined our community. And we have a few men as well, but the vast majority of our members are women. And to be able to continue to share our lives together, share our stories, share what's happening in the moment, the stress, be able to pray for one another, be able to share a recipe with one another. My goodness, let's stop making the same foods over and over again, right? I mean, just all from the little things to the big things is what I want to share with our community, because we're all going through something, whether it's a worry about a child and sickness, or whether it's about job loss or having to move, or an illness, or whatever the case may be. Like, we want to be a part of your story. We want to be able to be there for you, pray for you, and love on you, and care for you. So we invite you in to be a part of us at the Gut Girls. And then once you're a part of us, then we're going to put our feet in the sand together.
Exactly. It sounds like you just, what I'm hearing is like you took Nature's Elite and you're just putting it on the road now, like all these retreats that you have. So guys, Nature's Elite did not close. It just became the Gut Girls. And now Diana is going to show up in your hometown and we are going to take you guys to these beautiful retreats. And like she said, love on each other. And I think more importantly is we're going to break down walls that the nervous system has put up. But in a way that is gentle and loving. Like, literally, the reason for a retreat would be to be able to look at someone literally in the eye, face to face, and be like, I see you, I've been there too. Like we all have been there too, you know, and there's an opportunity
Yeah.
to change the way that you're walking through life. And I can't think of a better, like, Diana, I mean, this is huge for you. I mean, I can't think of a better ending. And I don't even want to say it's the ending because it's not. I mean, knowing you, there's going to be like, what, transformation number 3 down the road. But just, I guess I would say an ending to the storefront. What a better, you couldn't have asked for a better storyline, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, to know that you really just took it now on the road and you're doing this with all these women. And so I just want to say again, I think I said this 2 or 3 times already, but I'm proud of you. The way that you walk through it, the way that you just shared, you know, that with everyone on the podcast. And I will just say, we are going to, I think the question I want to know as as like a, not a clinician, but like as a coach, I should say, because we're not clinicians, but is we actually set it up so that next podcast, we're going to talk about stress and cortisol in a way where we didn't once touch in the last 2 episodes what you did to survive this well. Like, what was the day to day that you still checked off your box, that helped you get to this beautiful storyline? And so in the next episode, guys, we are going to talk about, you know, some stress and cortisol, but we're going to pull Diana's story in back just a little bit to be like, okay, for someone who walked through it, what were you doing day in and day out to survive this well and be able to come today and tell your, you know, this transformation to everyone? And so Diana, before we're going to end this episode, but is there anything you want to say before we end? Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. I guess I'm going to end. You already summed up all the endings and the new beginnings and all of that stuff. And so a very tangible thing is, you know, you talked about going to different communities. I am coming to your community. I'm coming to Charlottesville, Virginia. I want to announce that here because for those of you that are in Virginia, I would want to meet you. I would love to meet you. So we will we'll announce that date just when we actually make sure that we have that nailed down, but it will be in July. So I would love to meet you there. And that will kind of be sort of the kickstart of, you know, the Gut Girls and what we're sharing and building and everything. So I'm really excited to come see you there too. So thank you for letting me share this. Thank you to all of the listeners. Thank you to my Nature's Elite people. I mean, when I tell you I will carry you in my heart forever and ever and ever, I mean it until the day I die. You mean so much to me, and thank you. So yeah, anything else, Angela, or you mean just sum it up, just close it up?
You go ahead and sign off.
All right. Thank you guys again so much for listening, letting me pour into this podcast and share with you guys in the community. It means so much to me. So if you want to be a part of us, we would love for you to do that. Go to gutgirls.health. We will have different ways that you can join us in that community. You can do a free 15 call so you can see me face to face because we do those through Google Meet. So if you want to do that, please head over to gutgirls.health and we'll catch you on that next episode.
The Gut Girls podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We are not acting as licensed medical professionals. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your health routine.